Sometimes when it seems like all hope is lost, help comes from where you least expect it. Then in hindsight, you realize it was your own good deed that had come back to repay you even after many years. Anna was born in a small village which was located past a dense forest. When inhabitants of this village needed to go to the city, they could either walk several hours on foot around the forest or go straight through it. People usually chose the second option as there had been a wide path trodden through the forest, which led to a bus stop on the highway. When Anna was 10 years old, she and her aunt set off through the woods to go to the city in order to buy supplies for school. Along the way, Anna saw a small deer whose front legs were broken, lying helplessly on the ground while its mother ran around nearby, not knowing how to help her baby. Luckily, Anna's aunt was a veterinarian and she knew what to do. She tore 2 strips of fabric from her shirt, instructed Anna to find 2 straight branches, and she bandaged the splints to the deer's legs. She then took the deer in her arms and decided to take it home to recover. They weren't able to go to the city that day after all, but Anna wasn't upset because she was happy to help a poor animal in need. They settled the deer in a barn alongside their other animals, and the young deer's mother would come out of the forest every day to visit him. Anna spent all of her free time with her new ward. She fed it with her hands and brought treats for its mother. When the deer was fully recovered, Anna and her aunt took it to its mother, and the animals disappeared into the forest together. Anna was so inspired by the way her aunt was able to help the animal in need that she decided to become a veterinarian herself. Anna grew up to be a beautiful young woman who devoted herself to caring for animals. She never refused to help anyone, even if the owner couldn't pay for services rendered. One day, on her way to the city through the forest, Anna noticed that she was being pursued by a man. She started to walk faster, but then so did the man, and it didn't take long for him to catch up to her. As she turned around, she saw a tall man directly behind her, with a knife in his hand and a crazed look in his eyes. Anna quickly assessed the situation. There was no point in screaming, as no one would be able to hear her in the dense forest. She couldn't run either, as the man was clearly stronger and faster than her. Just then, there was a rustle in the bushes nearby. They both turned their heads in that direction, and then quite unexpectedly, a huge horned deer jumped out at them. He butted the man in the chest with all his might, which caused the man to fall and cry out in pain. Anna took advantage of the distraction and ran towards the bus stop. Luckily, there were people there, and she told them everything that had happened. Then several men went back into the forest to catch the maniac. He was lying in the same place, and it appeared his ribs were broken. The deer was standing nearby as if he wanted to make sure that the girl was all right. Only now did Anna notice his front legs, which had a distinct look to them, as if they had been broken earlier in the deer's life. Anna remembered her childhood experience of nursing the young deer back to health. Could this be the same deer? She could never be sure if it was the same deer or if it was just a happy coincidence that another deer had come to her aid. Either way, nature had come to the girl's aid, repaying Anna for all of her good deeds towards so many animals, which likely saved her life that day. Friends, do good deeds, not for the sake of personal gain, but for the sake of goodness itself, and then it will return to you at the most appropriate time. You can be sure of that.